my page talking about he had a change. When I went to Africa, I changed my heart. I went to, let me tell y'all something. Going to Africa don't change a damn thing. I know y'all don't want to hear that because y'all like to think I buy a plane ticket and I got authentication. It authenticates your Africanity. Going to Africa don't change a damn thing. Africa is soil, it's air, it's atmosphere, it's planet freaking Earth. If you can't wake your damn ass up sitting on backwater Mississippi, if your ass can't wake up sitting somewhere in Trenchtown, Jamaica or Brixton, taking your ass to Africa does not grant you any special insights. I'm sorry. And I'm sick of people running that hustle. Even Dave Chappelle did it. Every time a rich Negro get in trouble, they take a trip to Africa and all is forgiven. I can't believe it. You know, and on my page, when I posted this link saying, look at this fool. Look at this fool. Who you think gonna fall for this? And I had people come on my Facebook page like, I'm falling for it. Hell, I can't get up to fall. I stay down. They didn't fall for it because you got to get up to fall. They've been down intellectually. And people were really like, oh, I make that change. He's looking at the man in the mirror, asking him to change. Y'all really fell for it. Even Michael Jackson took his ass to Africa. And they didn't recognize him in Africa. Somebody got on the phone and to Africa and say, hey, Africa, Michael Jackson's coming. And Michael Jackson got off the chartered plane, and the Africans were still looking over his shoulder like, won't this white woman get out the way so we can find Michael Jackson? Somebody's like, oh, brother, that is Michael Jackson. Like, oh, damn. Go look at the pictures of Michael Jackson in Africa and look how spooked out the Africans look. They standing there, they mad uncomfortable. They mad uncomfortable. And this is after the black-white thing. This is after Michael Jackson got his full array. Going to Africa doesn't change a damn thing, and stop letting people run that hustle on you. Let me tell you something. There have been millions of colonizers, rapists, and murderers to step foot on African soils, and they arrived at Africa racist colonizers, and they remained in Africa as racist colonizers, and they leave Africa as racist colonizers. Africa is not magic. It's just like everything else. So there, if you're Uncle Tom handkerchief head bootlicking Negro, Africa will not cure you of that, and that is not Africa's burden or responsibility. If you can't wake up sitting in your own living room, you ain't gonna wake up sitting in Elmina Slave Castle. And yeah, people get caught up in the moment and emotions. You see misogynistic men, they get married, they go through the wedding, they see their wife coming down the aisle, and the music is playing, and all this emotion, and the man will sit there and be like, I love you, baby, and crying, and before she get home, he's like, you better make me a sandwich, you do my dishes, and I'm gonna backhand you if you don't. So yeah, people get caught up in the moment. But I know plenty of people that have been to Africa that are absolute sellouts, that are absolute Uncle Toms. And Khalid Muhammad said 30 years ago, these new Negroes are Afrocentric sellouts. They will be the blackest people. They go to Africa, they go to tour the pyramids of Kemet. They'll go lay down in a sarcophagus and be like, I feel touched by my ancestors. How many times Obama been to Africa? Obama been to Kenya and broke bread with his ancestors. Sat in the familial circles and came back home and drone bombed his own people. You know, and it's not like that sick notion that say, you know, you get a bad man and then he gets some good vagina. He lied, he has sex with a good woman and that'll change that man. You know, that is not how change works. Going to Africa is abusive to Africa. It's disrespectful of Africa. Marcus Garvey is a man who had great love for Africa, who had a wonderful plan and dedicated his life to repatriation and liberation of all African people. He never set one toe in Africa. He never arrived in Africa. And let me tell you something about white people. These rednecks, these hillbillies, these white people who will never own a passport, who never go to Europe, these neo-Nazis who don't even know, can't spell Germany, couldn't find Germany on a marked map. But yet the white power, the white identity is so deeply embedded in them. It ain't got nothing to do with Europe. Africa's in us. We are Africa, not the landmass. We are Africa, not the landmass. That's why you got generations of white people born in Rhodesia, in South Africa, in Senegal. You got white people born and raised in Africa for generations on African soil, and they still act like Europeans. Just like you've had white people here in the so-called New World who came, when you look at the diaries of Christopher Columbus, and the white men came, and Father de las Casas, and these early so-called white explorers, they're not explorers, they're invaders. They didn't discover a damn thing. But when the white invaders came here, they came and saw a humane culture. They didn't say people weren't throwing spears at them or shooting arrows at them from the beach. They came here, they were lost, sick, and starving. And the people gave them medicine, people gave them food, shelter, comfort, companionship, friendship, and trust. Did that change any one white man? Did any one white man was like, damn, I was going to rape your wife and hack your head off, but because of all this compassion, because I'm in a new place, a new geography, I'm going to flip. How about I don't hack your head off and rape your wife? How about I rape you and hack your wife's head off? That's the only change they make, if they make a change. We need to stop with this mysticism, this spookism, and this emotionalism when we're dealing with politics. If you go to the African continent, understand. Go there, don't just go there for some cathartic emotionalism. Africa has issues. Africa needs real allies. Africa is not a prop. Africa is not a backdrop for the movie that is your life. Africa is a real place. We have real connections. We have real responsibilities too. Now I'm sick of this. And I got grown-ass people talking about, oh, he went to Africa. Oh, he feels the spirit of our ancestors. No. He feels the lightning of his bank account. He feels that the white folks don't want him no more, and any intelligent black people have wrote him off, and most of the black Uncle Tom black people, if white folks ain't rocking with you, the Uncle Toms who worship white people ain't gonna rock with you, so he really got nowhere else to go. He done lost his hood credentials. He done lost his Hollywood gold black card pass. So he figured, who's the most gullible population out there? These Afrocentrics, pro-blacks, gullible ass, who want to love everybody. So he gonna go to Africa and do the fake ass crying and have a full film crew there with Matt, and then he has his custom-made Omega Sci-Fi African dashiki, and his wife, his poor wife, sweating out that. I know she paid a lot of money for that blonde wig, and it looked like straw. Horses nipping at her hair. She sweated out. She had her hair done, and that African sun. Oh boy, that African sun will bring the African out of everybody. You go there with a long, luxurious blonde weave, and you walk out of there with kente, Bantu knots on your head. Well, don't play with Africa. See, Africa not gonna play with you. So, you know, his poor wife, don't look at her. Just crop her out of the images. Go and verify what I'm saying to y'all. But crop this, because, I mean, that weave was struggling. And I know that ain't no dime store weave. She didn't risk getting put in a headlock by a Korean shop owner to get that weave. These women go straight to India and snatch the scalp. They scalp these poor little Indian women. You know, like they say, Beyonce spent $10,000 a month on weave, has spent over $100,000 on one weave set up. So, I mean, she should have known better. I guess that was her first trip to Africa. You know, next time, you know what you see these sellout Uncle Tom women do when they go to Africa? They wear those head wraps. That ain't to connect with Africa. That's to cover up sweating out that perm. You know, Africa, and don't get mad at me. I know some of y'all sensitive about these hair issues. Kwame Ture said it. Get mad at him. He said Africa will snatch it out. You come there, no relaxes, and Africa will snatch it out. So you talk to him. I'm gonna tell you, like Speech and the rest of development said, Africa's inside me. Or I tell you, like I like how Che Guevara said. He said the gorilla carries his nation in the soil between his toes. We ain't Africa. Africa is us. It's us, the flesh and bone, the humanity. Land has no culture. Land is just a physical reality. We bring meaning, depth, and relevance to that land. So Africa was not broken up. Africa was dispersed. Everywhere you find Africans, you find Africa. Where you find Europeans, you find Eurocentric behavior. They didn't come to the United States and create a different culture. They came here and founded a New York, a New Jersey, New Hampshire. Where's the old Jersey, Hampshire, York, and all that other crap? It's back in Europe. And I say 99% of the rednecks in this country will never set foot in Europe, but they don't need to go to Europe to know how to act like white people. It's embedded in their DNA, just like that. So yeah, I'm saying you can go to Africa for many reasons. To reconnect, to learn history, to research. You can go to Africa for many reasons. But one thing you're not going to get from Africa is any awakening, any type of epiphany. If the racism of America ain't enough, if the modern, current, contemporary racism and oppression in the United States is not enough to wake your sleeping ass up, I promise you, the remnants of slave infrastructure and the triangle trade route is not going to do it. And if you say that it's doing, you a liar. Your ass is lying, Steve. And I'm sorry, I didn't get started. This show was supposed to be about love in the time of capitalism. And we will discuss that. That will be part 2. I'm going to do a part 1 and part 2. So I will get into the details. I have copious notes and everything, but my timing was thrown off. But it's time.